Land Use Committee.
And I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Ferry, that means you don't have to attend every meeting, but you will be a resource when they need you.
That means answer the phone if we call, please.
Another title for Mr. Ferry.
Motion's made and seconded. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. That motion carries unanimously. So we have just appointed Mr. Jack Taylor, Mr. Jim Aguirre as members of the Land Use Committee and ad hoc / advisor, Thomas Ferry.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Looking forward to it, actually.
The good thing is, you don't have to start from the beginning. There's already a list.
Right.
The list needs to be reviewed, but it's not like we were way back in the beginning, when we had to even check to see if we owned some of this land on the list.
Next on the agenda, review, discuss, and act on a road opening permit for the Dayton Water District to install a new water service at 398 Center Street, Dayton, Mass.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Is 398 one of the new houses on the right as you go west?
Yes, it is.
This is just a request from the Dayton Water District to install a new water service. As I said, 398 Center Street, North Dayton. Or is it Dayton? 398.
I think it's Dayton.
Right side or left
No,
side?
it's not Dayton.
No.
It's on, going west, it's on the right-hand side.
That's not Dayton? Oh, all right.
Not Dayton.
Middle of the road is the Mason-Dixon line.
Oh,
I'm
it's
not
in
sure
a,
I'll ever get used to that, okay, ever.
oh, it is, it's in a part of Dayton.
If we ever get one post office, that'll go
All
away.
right.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion,
Motion's
Mr.
been
Chair.
made and seconded. Any other discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye.
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 All right. Opposed? The ayes have it. Next on the agenda under new business, review, discuss, and act on the Highway Department Superintendent, Mr. Thomas Ferry, and his recommendation for a new Highway Department employee.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman.
And Mr. Ferry, would you like to be number 24, please, and advise us of your recommendation? Thank you, Mrs. Goulart.
You say I'm gonna get into that.
Yes, as you are all aware of, last annual meeting, our Highway Department was approved to hire 2 more full-time personnel, operator class 1, and at this time, I'd like to recommend Michael Barabee. He's the one that stands on top of all applications for all the requirements that we asked for in the posting, and I'll entertain any questions at this time.
I know he has licenses and certifications. What is the next step after he's appointed? Does he have to go through the physicals and all that?
Yes, we'll go through the physical that we have for our department, and drug and alcohol screening, and also the background check with the Cory.
Okay, I'll make the motion to appoint Michael Barabee to the Highway Department.
I will second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. That passes unanimously. Just one question, Mr. Ferry. We're still taking applications because you were approved for 2 new employees, right?
Yes, the second position still remains open. I'm still conducting interviews for the second positions, and applications can still be received, yes.
Thank you. Great job. You are right.
Congratulations.
You would do a good job.
What, Mr. Ferry, one last question. You will not, or will you not be, kind of reconsidering people who already applied to fill that vacant spot, or did you already consider them for both spots and you need new applications?
My goal right now is definitely in consideration. I'm still considering applications on file.
Okay.
Like, answer this, Gordon's question, if applications still come in, that are interesting, we will entertain them.
Okay, thank you.
Did one come in today?
For highway?
Rest assured, he'll have it filled before snow flies.
Oh, yeah.
John, how soon would somebody be able to start once they get through the testing and whatever?
Roughly about 10 days from when we have this process this evening.
Okay.
Pending if they have previous employment,
And they have to give notice.
to give adequate notice also.
Last on the agenda for new business, review, discuss, and act notary fees. I think I might need assistance with this.
We have a notary person.
I don't really have any documentation with me.
This came about because there was a question about charging notary fees, how much to charge, who gets charged, and things of that nature. Fees for notaries, fees that can be charged for notaries are covered by state law. And I can only speak for myself. When I was a notary and was employed in 2 different municipal public entities, so to speak, state level and local. In both instances, I was initially asked to become a notary so that I could notarize residence forms for students at Dayton, Rehoboth, and students, residents from Dayton and Rehoboth who would come into the superintendent's office needing to have documents notarized, or if they were underage, their parents would come in and there had to be paperwork, especially if they were going on to state schools, and some colleges and universities needed applications or other documents notarized. I did not charge a fee because both at Dayton, Rehoboth, where I first got my notary certificate, and later when I went on to the University of Massachusetts to work, my employer always paid. It was, they paid for my initial application, the fee to be sworn in, the seal, and the supplies I needed, which was a log book, which I kept with me all those years. And then the term of a notary is 7 years. And then when I went to the university, I had an active membership, and it was renewed at least once while I was there. And again, I would notarize documents for anyone at the university in the president's office that needed it. They covered my expenses for renewal, and there were no charges. In looking at what we do at Town Hall, people come in here frequently needing documents notarized. Residents, some non-residents, excuse me, employees and others. And based on my own experience, and I gotta tell you, notary fees that are listed in the state law are piddling. So if anyone out there is being charged large amounts of money to have something notarized, I would suggest you question it. I think the maximum that could be charged based on the current regulation, and I don't believe it's changed since years ago, is about $1.25. There are other fees listed that are less than $1. So based on my own experience, I'm going to recommend to the board, and I will put it in the form of a motion for you to consider, that we have 2 notaries presently in this building, that the service will be available to the public, and that we do not charge those fees, and that if one of our notaries, or when our notaries have have the applications come up for renewal, if they choose to renew them, that the town cover the expense, and that this be a service we provide to the town residents.
May I ask you a question, Selectman Goulart, about that? Does the town gets reimbursed by the state?
No,
No.
no,
No.
no. It's just a service that
Service,
would be a public service provided at town hall.
A courtesy. Do we have a second?
Oh, I thought she was gonna put it into motion.
Well, that was sort of a motion. My motion will be, that was a recommendation and a motion every time. I move that the town of Dayton provide notary services for residents at no cost.
I second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Do we want to add to that motion?
I
for the-
probably should
for the-
amend and say applicable fees, or that applicable fees will be charged to non-residents. Or what would you suggest for a motion? Because I'm certainly open.
Well, as a courtesy, it's not that they're gonna drive, 10 miles to go get a notary. Well, then again, they might if it's that.
If it's gonna be that
Well,
expensive.
I will say that in the notary handbook, it's clearly defined that you should notarize documents for the most part for people you know. And they have to have proper identification because you have to record that in the log. You must administer an oath to each individual requesting a document to be notarized. And the notary has the right to refuse to notarize anything that, in the opinion of the notary, may not be a true document.
I'm looking at a scenario of a person who needs a notary that's a relative
Laws prohibit it.
of a resident.
You cannot notarize something for immediate family members, and quite frankly,
No, not if you're wrong. If a daughter of a mother that lives in town needs the notary and they both come in, but she doesn't live in town, do we then say you have to pay? But it's for the mother's sake, for paperwork, for...
no, wait a minute. Who is the person that needs the document notarized? The non-resident daughter or the
Yeah,
mother?
Probably the non-resident daughter.
And the notary is
For
the...
estate planning or what have you.
If you want to offer the service free to anybody, I don't have a problem with that. If you want to put a restriction on it, the only way I can think of doing it is by residency, but certainly I will withdraw that motion, and I will say that the town of Dayton will offer notary services free to the public.
And how about the employees performing? Do we pay for their supplies or renewals or?
And that the expenses of the town employees who are notaries will be covered for renewals. If we have new notaries, we have any new people who become notaries, it would be their fees and supplies, which would include oath of office and seals and logs and handbook.
And I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Very well done. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? The ayes have it. Under the next heading of reports, for those of you that were with us this previous Saturday at the pavilion out in back of Town Hall here, there was a ceremony and event put on for the Dayton Rehoboth Regional High School baseball team who wound up the state championships in Division I this year. It's the first time in the history of Dayton Rehoboth Regional High School. We had a group of 100+ people show up. We had refreshments, we had food available to all those who attended. We had a, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 155 156 157 158 159 160 citation that was issued to each individual player and coach directly from Governor Baker, in the governor's office. We had a raffle, we had donations, monetary, prizes donated from various businesses and individuals from the town of Dayton and the town of Rehoboth. We were represented by, town of Rehoboth had their chairman of the Board of Selectmen there, who brought the prizes and was introduced and had a few words to say, as well as the board that you're looking at right now. It was very well appreciated by all. I've never seen, I've known Coach Bill Tutkerson for, probably 30-something years. I never saw anyone who enjoyed himself and was so appreciative of the hometown celebration compared to, they were saluted at Fenway Park. We went to the, I believe it was the State House, and his biggest thrill was coming back here and having a good old hot dog cookout with the people he knew and from the town that most of these kids were representing. Our hats go off to them. There were so many people that took part in this whole event, not only for the donations, but for their time and their efforts. The list goes on of what was donated. The end result, which was so important, from all the monies that we collected, all the donations, all the raffle prizes that were raffled off, we said that 100% of that money would go toward a $500 scholarship to a member of the Dayton Rehoboth baseball team who has committed to college and will be attending college in the fall. I have advised Coach Cuthbertson to choose a player that fits those criteria, that we would like to present him with the first year $500 scholarship. Our total amount raised came to $1,804, which allows us to give a scholarship for 3 consecutive years. If in the meantime, anyone still wishes to make a donation or a contribution, and we come up with another $196, that would allow us to deplete that monies that we had made and give a 4th-year scholarship. So that's open for thought, anybody that might wish to do so. You may come up to the Board of Selectmen's office or present it through some means to the Board of Selectmen's office. Nancy, did you want to do something with this? Or?
That's the
Read
next,
read it for
that's
under
the next
acknowledgement.
item.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask you a question about the scholarship?
Absolutely.
I was just curious.
You're not eligible.
I'm done with the school finally, I promise you. Never going back. The $500 every year for 3 years for right now. Is this individual going to be able, is that only to be used towards something like tuition? Can this individual use that towards their books, for example?
Anything
School related?
college-related.
Okay, cool.
You know, it's to help out. We know with the cost today, it's not gonna pay the, the full boat, but it would help.
That would help
That
pay
would
the
help,
books at
whether it's
least.
books for a semester or
Absolutely.
down payment on housing or whatever, as long as it's college-related.
That's fantastic, thank you.
So again, we reach out and we congratulate and appreciate all those that helped in any form. It was a first-time event for this board that, with the help of many of the town employees that contributed not only prize-wise, donation-wise, but through their own hours that they put in to make this thing go as well as it did. We only had approximately 3 weeks to put it all together. In my estimation, on a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 9.9. So a job well done, and I thank all those who participated. And I say 9.9 because there's always room for improvement.
Next time,
Yep, next year.
if they win.
Next, under acknowledgements. This will be, for the help and the donations for the DR Falcons Championship fundraising event. Mrs. Goulart.
We had a raffle, and we also had a silent auction. But I'm going to first acknowledge all of the people who helped with refreshments. The Dayton Lions Club, and speaking from personal experience, Sue and I met with them 2 weeks ago tomorrow, and we went in there really concerned about how we were going to pull this off. Well, rest assured, within probably 10 minutes of discussion, everything was settled. It was all organized. Sue and I knew exactly what was going to happen, because the Lions are just so good at this, and they just jumped into it and said, this is what needs to be done, and people were stepping up. The hot dogs, the rolls, everything. We told them what we had. They told us what they could get. They got a lot of donations of food. So, Dayton Lions Club, we thank them for the volunteers who did the cooking, and I know Tom was there. For food, hot dogs, buns, chips, soda, water, the paper goods, condiments, the foil to wrap the dogs in. Dean was, one of his tasks was make sure we have enough ice and coolers and water. The two local pizza restaurants, Dayton House, donated 3 pizzas. CNN donated 4. Another individual, an anonymous person, donated pizza. We had coffee, donuts, and munchkins from Dunkin' Donuts. We had water from Kathy Spencer. The Dayton Water District Board of Water Commissioners donated bottled water. Town Clerk Sue Medeiros helped provide supplies that were needed. Jack Letty at Duval Taunton Printing printed a huge congratulatory banner. And by the way, that banner is still in Town Hall, and if any resident would like to come in and sign it, congratulations, good luck. This is going to be taken to Dayton Rehoboth and will be hung in an appropriate location. If you come in to pay your taxes, or you're just stopping by and you want to come in and congratulate the team, stop by the Selectmen's office and you can sign it. Bring your kids, anybody that wants to sign it, you're all welcome. Raffle gifts. Almeida's Country Store donated 4 gift cards. The Dayton Veteran Services donated 2 Hannaford's gift cards. Dunkin' Donuts donated a gift basket with coffee, supplies, and mugs. Fastmart donated a basket with lottery tickets and wine. John Tracy donated 2 gift cards for Jerry Remy's restaurant. Kathy Spencer donated a gift card for Spencer Muscular Therapy. Karen donated a folding camp chair. Freight's donated a gift card. Alice's Last Stop, a gift card. I had a collection of odds and ends. Saute pan, coffee with a Curie Castle, a carousel, bath product basket, a weather radio, a patio table. Giorgio's a gift card. Melissa Rogers, a cooler. The Dayton Water Commissioners also donated a gift card from Arujos. Hive Dive Honey, Amy Tessier, donated a jar of local honey. Arujos also donated a plant, a beautiful hanger. We had silent auction items that were donated. Hannaford Supermarket, gift card. Chief Jim Trombetta from the Rehoboth Police Department donated a limited edition Red Sox framed memorabilia, and it's the story of Big Pappy. And I will say I was the high bidder on that, so I own that now. Selectmen Supermental from Rehoboth solicited gifts. There was a gift card from Hillside Country Club. There was a round of golf for 4 with a cart from Hillside. There was a J&J Materials gift card. I donated a 3-bottle gift pack of Westport Rivers wine. Ed Reese donated a gift card. And David Perry, Liscon Irrigations, donated Patriots tickets. Dean donated Red Sox tickets. And Craig Cox donated Red Sox memorabilia. There were also Paw Sox tickets.
Yes,
I'm
from Chairman Vadnais.
Oh, Chairman Skip Vadnais donated Paw Sox tickets. And Mr. Ferry will be going to the Paw Sox game. Scholarship donations. When this was announced, we had a number of people come to the door to make cash donations. Scholarship donations were received from Town Accountant Jen Louise, Janice Terry, DR School Committee member, Rosemary Hoyle, again Ed Reese, Patricia Cronin, Jocelyn Tavares, and Tim Rhines. We would also like to thank the Setup/Cleanup Committee and volunteers. And that includes Tom Ferry, Nick Sisson, Dean Cronin, Pat Cronin, Nancy Goulart, Brett Zagrafis, Sue Medeiros, Karen Brady, Scott Brady, Erin Brady. As you can see, Karen recruited her family. I should say drafted. Recruited is probably drafted.
Because that's the only place they could eat for the whole day.
Oh, is that right? Is the word conscripted? Is that the word I want to use?
And lunch.
The Brady spouse and children were conscripted. Autumn Boyer and again Lions Club members helped with this. And
Cable.
cable TV filmed this, provided the PA system. Dave Marvel was here that day and he helped. And last but not least, I had contacted our state rep and senator, but the legislature was in session right through Sunday, so I knew they probably couldn't make it. And they also feted our team at the State House and introduced them on the floor of the State House where they were recognized and they were entered into the official record is the way I'll describe it. I did invite Governor Baker and Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito. As you can imagine, their schedules are planned way out and they couldn't attend. However, they asked for a list of names and numbers and the positions that the team members held. And each team member and each coach received an individual citation signed by the governor and the lieutenant governor in recognition of these accomplishment of winning this championship for the first time in the school's history, which was well over 50 years. So I think the team and the coaches were very impressed that the governor and lieutenant governor took the time to sign all of these. When they said they were going to send a citation, I thought there would be something framed that could be hung in the school. I didn't realize until Karen gave the envelope to me that these were individual citations, so that was certainly appreciated. And so on behalf of everybody that was involved with this event, we had a great time. The weather was beautiful. There was plenty of food. There was plenty of help. It was really a great community celebration. So thank you, everybody. If anyone's name was not mentioned, it's an oversight, but certainly we appreciate everything you did, and we thank all of you.
Thank you, Nancy. It was fun. Do we have any public input? Well, Mr. Aguirre, Mr. Ferry took care of
Mr.
that.
Ferry's laughing, so we better move on to the next thing quickly.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I second that.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any other discussion? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. And again, as usual, thank you, Cable, and good night.
Good night.